disparaging when you use it in that.
It does sound disparaging because I think people automatically hear like back in the day what you said being facetious to begin with.
Yeah.
Oh, in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Like a woman's place always was like in the kitchen with the kids, subservient. Episode 11. Below me. That's what I'm saying. So for me, just saying, yo, Taya, stop. Yo, Taya, chill out. I got this. Sometimes it's just a look.
Yeah.
I act like, I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
All women should be feminine.
So I agree with that. All women should be soft.
Yeah.
You know I agree with that. But what I'm saying is that it's different for different people. And it means different things depending on the man who say it.
Men that can tell you to stay in your place or look at you to stay in your place, and you see that look and you know it's immediately chill, or you saying to your wife or your significant other, chill, I got it, and all of that. They're not going on a campaign about a woman staying in a place.
Yeah.
Right. Also, what y'all saying now is I should make stay in your place contact. Got you. Heard you.
Hey, yo, I'm sick to death.
Now it's over. I think it just sounds disparaging when you use it in that.
It does sound disparaging because I think people automatically hear like back in the day what you said being facetious to begin with.
Yeah.
Oh, in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Like a woman's place always was like in the kitchen with the kids, subservient. Episode 11. Below me. That's what I'm saying. So for me, just saying, yo, Taya, stop. Yo, Taya, chill out. I got this. Sometimes it's just a look.
Yeah.
I act like, I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
All women should be feminine.
So I agree with that. All women should be soft.
Yeah.
You know I agree with that. But what I'm saying is that it's different for different people. And it means different things depending on the man who say it.
Men that can tell you to stay in your place or look at you to stay in your place, and you see that look and you know it's immediately chill, or you saying to your wife or your significant other, chill, I got it, and all of that. They're not going on a campaign about a woman staying in a place.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, what y'all saying now is I should make stay in your place contact. Got you. Heard you.
Hey, yo, I'm sick to death.
Now it's over. I think it just sounds disparaging when you use it in that.
It does sound disparaging because I think people automatically hear like back in the day what you said being facetious to begin with.
Yeah.
Oh, in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Like a woman's place always was like in the kitchen with the kids, subservient. Episode 11. Below me. That's what I'm saying. So for me, just saying, yo, Taya, stop. Yo, Taya, chill out. I got this. Sometimes it's just a look.
Yeah.
I act like, I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
All women should be feminine.
So I agree with that. All women should be soft.
Yeah.
You know I agree with that. But what I'm saying is that it's different for different people. And it means different things depending on the man who say it.
Men that can tell you to stay in your place or look at you to stay in your place, and you see that look and you know it's immediately chill, or you saying to your wife or your significant other, chill, I got it, and all of that. They're not going on a campaign about a woman staying in a place.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, what y'all saying now is I should make stay in your place contact. Got you. Heard you.
Hey, yo, I'm sick to death.
Now it's over. I think it just sounds disparaging when you use it in that.
It does sound disparaging because I think people automatically hear like back in the day what you said being facetious to begin with.
Yeah.
Oh, in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Like a woman's place always was like in the kitchen with the kids, subservient. Episode 11. Below me. That's what I'm saying. So for me, just saying, yo, Taya, stop. Yo, Taya, chill out. I got this. Sometimes it's just a look.
Yeah.
I act like, I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
All women should be feminine.
So I agree with that. All women should be soft.
Yeah.
You know I agree with that. But what I'm saying is that it's different for different people. And it means different things depending on the man who say it.
Men that can tell you to stay in your place or look at you to stay in your place, and you see that look and you know it's immediately chill, or you saying to your wife or your significant other, chill, I got it, and all of that. They're not going on a campaign about a woman staying in a place.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, so what y'all saying now? Sasha make stay in your place contact. Got you. Heard you.
Hey yo, I'm sick to death.
You. What it do, newbies? You are, of course, with your favorite coach's favorite coach, your favorite fat freckle man, the big dog himself. Who? And you are not in the wrong place. You are, of course, at the Life Be Lifing podcast. Welcome, one and all. Welcome, one and all. Damon, what's good, brother? Thank you for joining the chat. Got brother Damon from GFT Radio. Give it up for GFT Radio on them folks one time. Everybody part of the GFT Radio network. You know what I mean? Shout out to Style, shout out to Sonny and everybody else. You heard? My brother Hype, he's part of that as well. Um, yeah. I hope y'all saw that clip earlier. Main Character Energy Podcast, episode 13, titled Ejectocito. You have to watch the episode to find out why that is relevant. You're not gonna get it just from any of the clips. You're gonna have to watch the episode produced by the one, the only Mr. Know It All. So, you know what I'm saying? Give it up for the ladies of Main Character Energy and, of course, the Know It All Network. That's my podcast link, Philly fam and them, you heard? So, yeah, so we did have a conversation about a woman's place, right? And, yeah, traditionally, or, you know, I guess you could say typically, when the conversation of a woman's place and woman staying in their place, it do kind of sound like subservient, sound like a diss to women or whatever, right? But I believe everybody does have a place. I know people like to pretend that they don't believe in, excuse me, in gender norms or what's the other word, gender roles and stuff like that. People like to pretend these days because it's cool to step away from quote unquote gender roles or traditional gender roles, right? And don't get me wrong, I ain't saying we are grandparents or even our parents in terms of how they operated with the opposite gender, but some things is never going to change, and I don't necessarily think that some things should. As much as there's the cry about the patriarchy from the feminists and the feminazis and the faux feminists and all this kind of stuff. um Women benefit from patriarchy, right? Like it's one thing to say, I'm a woman, but I'm not the woman that's going to be home cooking and cleaning. That's not my twist. Okay, cool. So the dude who don't need or want a woman that do that can hit you up, and hopefully you have the other things that he is into. Cool. But pretending as if you just do away with uh gender roles is garbage. It's cat. It's cat. It's cat. Actually, I'm just saying it's cat. It is cat. Do I have to go get one? All right, I ain't gonna get one of my drinks from the top because they told me I was tripping last time I did that. But it's cat. Big cat. What'd you say? Big cat like the old can. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, women don't want to be with a man and still have to go take out the trash. Are there plenty of women taking out their trash every single day? Every single damn day. Are these women single? I bet you the majority of them are. I bet you the majority of them are. I am willing to bet good money that most women in a relationship with a man, a heterosexual man, does not want to be the one taking out the trash, and will in most cases will outright refuse to be that person, right? Um, Holding the door open for a lady. I don't see too often where if a man hold the door open for his woman, she's like, I'm your equal. I can hold the door open for myself. I got it. Putting the umbrella over her head. All the things like chivalry. Chivalry is part of the patriarchy package. I just need any woman who ever hears my voice or sees this to realize chivalry. Facts. With today's world, the norm is the norm. That's why I had to catch myself and correct myself, bro. That's exactly why I had to catch and correct myself, because what you said is very true. So I had to go with traditional gender roles because, as you said, gender norms are not normal to what we grew up with, right? Um, but something as simple, like I said, all the things that come with chivalry, and the best example that's always fail safe, because I'm sure there are women who of course are the exception, right? But let me ask you this: even in those cases where these women are the exception, do you, as a woman, feel good and proud about your man if when you're at his house or he's at his house or y'all at your house, something goes bump in the night and you have to be the one to go get your firearm and do a perimeter sweep? Because I'm sure every time I or another man says, yeah, the man is supposed to be the one to do that, and you recognize that, and that there's always going to be one woman, actually, I'm the one who does it. How do you feel about your man because of that? You feel great? You feel good about it? Do you really trust him? Do you really respect him? I'll get back to me with the answers another time. Anyway, the conversation I was having with the lovely ladies of main character energy, because the conversation of uh, what it is for a woman to be in a woman's place, right, or stay in a woman's place, I expressed that for me, because I believe in gender roles. I believe that a woman's place is it holds simultaneously two spaces, right? It holds the space where she's not a detriment to her man and he can protect her and take care of her, but also she's in a position where she doesn't jeopardize anything he has going on and can see the things that he doesn't see. I heard somebody I heard somebody liken it to somebody in the military likened it to a sniper, right? The sniper can pick off whoever they picking off. They a pro, right? But they need a spotter because they're tunnel focused, right? They're focused on their targets. They're looking around for what they're gonna hit, who they're gonna hit, what's out in front. They need a spotter because somebody could always come up behind them. And I kind of feel like that is what a woman's place is, right? When men say they want a woman to that they want to be protected too by a woman, it's not the whole thing. Oh, men want to be women so bad. No, no. It's just that I want you to look out for me so that I'm able to look out for you to the best of my ability. If you see, and I don't even want to make women responsible for things that men should be more responsible for. Like, there'll be men who say, well, if I'm doing all this, then you should be scheduling my doctor's appointments and my dental appointments. Sir, you're a grown man. Schedule your own, take care of your own health, schedule your own appointments. It's cool if she does it, don't get me wrong. And it's great if she reminds you too. But no, that's not the things I mean. I mean the things that your man can't see. Because men and women were built equally but not the same. Our skills differ in certain spaces. There are going to be sometimes things that a man sees that a woman doesn't see, and things that a woman sees that a man doesn't see. And that's the where the protection steps in. The things that your man can't see but you can see, make sure you communicate that to him so that he doesn't get blindsided by anything. And that way he can still be the sword and shield out in the front. He could still run frontline for you, right? But when you see those things in the peripheral that's outside of his vision, you notify him. We had the conversation about how men, you know, are from the physical aspect, men protecting their women with force, right? And how the women that protect their men are the women who, like Sonny, who like Star, who like Taya, said, I'm not calling my dad, brother, boyfriend, homeboy, cousin for anything that I could talk my way out of or get my way out of or avoid. Men were to see a more protective and logical side and a woman the heart and softer side. I think what you're saying, Dane. I dig it. I don't disagree with that at all. I do think that women are more naturally sensitive or um empathetic. I do think that women are typically more naturally empathetic than men. So yes, like when a man is seeing something in black and white, A's and B's, ones and twos, but it takes a little bit more nuance from a side of empathy or compassion. Yeah, it would be great for our women to kick in there. And that's why you have to be a man who understands what leadership is. And leadership means you're willing to accept counsel. If you're a man who is not willing to listen to people around you, you are not a man who is fit to lead. I'm going to say that flat out. I don't care who feel differently about it. But in this conversation, like I said, we were having that conversation and the ladies were saying, even starring a clip saying, I'm calling 911. I'm calling the professionals, the people who get paid to put their life on the line in these situations. That's who I'm calling. I'm not calling my husband. I'm not calling the guys who love me, right? Because when you call the dude who loves you, I mean, you have to accept the risk that comes with that. And it's not that we don't want to be called. It's that we don't want to be called for dumb stuff. We don't want to be called for stuff you started. We don't want to be called for things you could avoid. Those are the things we don't want to be called for, right? And we don't want to be called into no-win situations. We don't. You around a bunch of guys, one of the guys smacked your butt, you call us there against 7 guys. I don't know exactly. Now, if it's not to retrieve you and get you out of there, because that's for one thing. Come retrieve you, get you out of there as safe as possible, fine. But calling us to come, I got, you touched me, you violated me, I got somebody for y'all. Yeah, no. Because when it only ends usually 2 ways. Either one, we successfully wiped out 7 people and now we're on the run from the law. Or, which is more likely, we got wiped out by 7 people. Be it hands and feet, or we go into the grave. Either we go into the hospital or the grave. In those situations, summoning the man who will protect you has 3 destinations: jail, hospital, grave. Right? So the women who consider those things before they call in the cavalry are the ones who are in a women's place, protecting the men who would die for them. Okay. Now I bring all of this up. Let's reel it in to where it makes sense for tonight's conversation. No pun intended. No nonsense facts, bro. No nonsense situations allowed. On God. But let's bring it into what I'm gonna talk about tonight. So I had a conversation with a friend, and one of the things that I told this friend, because we were having a conversation about the whole thing where, the complaint from Black women is that Black men don't protect them. Unfortunately, we have seen far too many situations where Black women are either harassed, violated, downright attacked, like assaulted. And there's been Black men who choose to do nothing, who could have done something. Now, again, by do something, I do not mean necessarily putting on your cape and risking your life. Nah, but sometimes you could have called the cops. Sometimes you could have used, like, I ain't from the streets. I just lived in the neighborhood, right? I say all the time, I am a square. Okay. I never left the porch. Where they say that people be like, I hopped off the porch or I jumped off the porch. I never left grandma porch as far as that kind of stuff is concerned. I never pushed, so none of that. I wasn't in them streets, right? But I observe certain things when you live in certain areas and you have to traverse certain, dangers and possible hazards. So you start to get situational awareness. You start to understand what it looks like when somebody's looking too long in a particular way in a certain direction. You don't necessarily want to be in that direction. If you see a dude trying to holler at a girl and the girl shooting him down and the dude's being persistent, all you gotta do is you ain't gotta run over there and be like, like what they say in battle rap. They said Calico. No, no, not yeah. They said Calico said, uh, "Stop, Hitman Holla. You've done enough. Like you ain't you ain't gotta do anything." My man Neil, welcome back. Appreciate you, brother. Um, you ain't gotta do that, but like simple stuff like, calling her attention, like locking eyes with her and telling her, "Yo, come over here." Like, in a way where you're not like being obvious. Simple stuff like that. Pretending you know a girl, pretending you know a girl in a situation where she's in a jam. Keisha, that's you. Girl, I ain't seen you in a minute. Come here. Girl. Like there's different things, right? Like all that you can use your judgment to figure out. So I understand that side of the argument when women ask for more protection for black men. However, from black men, excuse me. However, one of the things I was discussing with my friend is that part of our protection for our women, I don't know if you've ever heard the phrase, y'all, but it goes like this. An ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure, right? Before you end up in this jam that now I have to come try to help you wade your way out of, before you end up hurt, before you end up heartbroken. My man, Aunt, hey, that is Aunt Rockmore from the Aunt Rockmore Experience on the part of the Big Exclusive Network. He's on Thursdays as well, 7 o'clock. He was on earlier. They was having a good conversation. I'm mad I missed too much of it, but I caught like kind of like the later half. Shout out to Ant, you know what I mean? He's gonna be on here at some point. I'm gonna get him on here at some point for sure, y'all. For sure, for sure. Probably in September. I'm gonna shoot for September to try to have a topic for him to join us, and we just kick it, right? But as I was saying, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. So when we tell you as a woman, don't go here, don't wear that. I know women hate that whole thing about what they wear. I know y'all hate your bodies being policed. I know y'all hate y'all attire being policed. I get it. There's literally nothing you can wear absolutely nothing, and you still don't deserve to be harassed. You still don't deserve to be assaulted. You know what I'm saying? You don't. Oh, I got the wrong Ant. My man. I'm bugging Ant. That's my man Ari Ave. We had him on last season. When we had the conversation about what femininity is, what's an overly feminine woman. Go back and watch that episode. Ant, glad to have you back, bro. Hey yo, shout out to all my guys from the sports group that I'm still locked in with today, man. War, KJ, and Neil, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. Y'all some stand-up dudes, man. And there's other people whose name ain't come to mind right now, but shout out to all y'all, man. Y'all solid as hell. But as I was saying, right, I get it. And I am not no type of scrape apologist or harasser apologist. I'm not saying that you put on anything or you looked in any kind of way to make yourself get attacked or harmed or harassed. What I'm saying is, and I want somebody to play this for a woman who's not watching. when she gets upset about that whole thing where we try to talk to them about sometimes what they wear doesn't help their situation, depending on the function they go into and stuff like that. If you go to Cali and you call yourself wearing a bunch of red and blue, and then you find yourself in an unsafe situation as a guy, right? Nobody says, well, damn, those gangs are so mean. Nobody starts with that. The first thing people would say was, didn't he know where he was going? Why would he have that on out there? All right, let me scale it back a little bit. If you are a get money dude, right? You got bread, you living good, you could afford to find the things in life, you can afford to flashier things in life. You are a stunner. Stunt 101 is remedial for you, right? You iced out, you blinged, you all that. But if you go ticket club, whatever, in this certain section of wherever city at a certain time of night, and they rob you for everything, they strip you for everything, the first thing somebody gonna say is, he knew better than to go out there like that. Okay, I'll scale it down a little bit. I've done this before, but I'm gonna scale it back one more bit. For those of us who've been to college, right? For those of us who have been to college and know and seen fraternities and sororities, if you go to said fraternity or sorority function, if you as a female go to the the deltas and wear red, if you go to the AKAs and you go there in pink and green, and they get on your ass, pause. It'll be people not gonna have no sympathy for you, right? If you was a dude show up to the Q's and you call yourself wearing purple and gold, it could be because you're a Lakers fan, because you're a big Kobe or Shaq fan. Nobody's gonna care when them dogs end up on you, end up putting hands and feet on you. Nobody's gonna care. They're gonna say you was the one tripping. And literally, no matter what I wear, nobody deserves to put hands on me. Like people, hell, let me scale it back even further, right? I'm in Philly. Y'all know that. If you're a first time watcher, I live in Philly. However, I'm a native Texan. As such, I grew up a Cowboys fan. I didn't give that up to come here and become an Eagles fan, right? Now, currently, I'm not a Cowboys fan or a football fan, but that's another story for another day. How many times do you think, or have you as a Philadelphian heard somebody tell a Cowboys fan here, take that off before something happened to you when they got the gear on? You better not wear that going to the game. You better not wear that to the game. You better not wear that out here. You better not da 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 da. And we talking about sports teams that none of us get paid for supporting. We have to pay to support them. And people have told me year after year, nah, you can't have that cowboy. We definitely need to run it back. And they tell me you can't have that cowboy stuff out in Philly, bro. Something's gonna happen to you. I had this Mitsubishi and I put a Cowboys decal on it. Yo, unless you want your windows busted out, you might want to take that off. Do I deserve to have my windows busted because I rooted for another team? Are you kidding me? Them people that get jumped and attacked at games because they wear another team's jersey. It's not supposed to go like that. But when somebody's telling you that, it's because they've seen evidence of it happening before and they feel as though there's a genuine risk that it could happen to you again. Prevention is better than cure. So when a dude tells a woman, hey, I saw you posting. Oh, hi, I didn't see you. We got the sponsor of the Two Kings 215 and Life Be Life thing podcast in the building, Mrs. Keish with the cakes. Please say the missus. You heard me? But yeah, so when a dude sees that a woman, we see on social media, we see that a woman is following a particular male influencer or whatever you want to call him, guru, motivational speaker, expert, whatever it is. And we see what's going on. We see the pandering, we see the lies, we see the cap, we see the exploitation. And we see y'all posting these dudes clips in their stories, and we see you following them. We see you buying books. This goes back as far as to the whole act like a woman, think like a man thing with Steve Harvey. This goes back that far, if we want to be real. When dudes was saying that book is not gonna help you, it's gonna hurt you. If you ever want to get a man, please don't try to think like one. That was protection. Like, you can't forsake the prevention part of protection. You can't forsake it. You can't. I'm trying to stop what could happen to you before it happens. How is that not protection? But that gets looked over so much. That gets looked over so much. And then, I had a lifer, because we went back and forth about the current shyster that just got exposed, right? Now, I'm sure every man in this chat has told some woman that, whether it's his homegirl or somebody who was cool with on social media, about one of these fraud males. We've called them out, whether we were talking to a woman independently, or I've mentioned them on my pages before, how they is a fraud, how it was fake, all this stuff. And every single time I get called jealous, I get called short-sighted. Oh, you must be worrying about him spilling your secrets, so forth and so on, yada yada yada. And every time, like, men haven't been wrong about not one of these guys. When we sit there and warn y'all about these guys that's online trying to take advantage of y'all, because it's never just done from this aspect of, hey, I'm gonna help you because I want the best for you. There's always a product attached. The one boy had books and seminars. Yeah, I ain't saying none of their names because we already know them. Well, I will say one boy name, two boys' names. But the first boy, we already know him. Right? He had seminars and books attached. The other boy, in fact, I ain't gonna say his name, but y'all know he got a whole show and they on tour and all, and he had card games and he had a podcast before they went on tour. He was a disciple of the first boy. This boy who just got exposed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He was selling soap. So, like, it's always a product attached. It's never just I'm genuinely looking out for your best interest. You know what I'm saying? They're always trying to sell you something. They're always trying to get rich off y'all. Ladies, you got to understand, even the most well-minded man doesn't go out of his way to trash men as a whole because he's a man. He will talk bad about the men who are bad. Absolutely. Why shouldn't he? But he's not going to try to make most men sound bad. And he's not going to try to make all men except for him sound bad. Just think about it. It doesn't even make sense. When somebody keeps saying men, 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 and they exclusive, they don't say we. It's not even from the standpoint of, like, this is a problem I face, so I warn women about dudes who face like that, right? Like a criminal telling you how a criminal moves. Y'all ever see that show Leverage, where they got all the different criminals and they help people who getting taken advantage of, people who getting scammed? Right, like that, right? Men try to do that for women, and that gets bypassed. They only notice what we saying after these dudes get exposed and we come back to say, I told you so. And then I don't care. We get to say, I told you so. We get to say, I told you so. I don't care. I don't care. I know me. I remember I was off social media for a while. And when I came back, my first post was like, I'm here for my apologies about the first musclehead bull. So I'm here for my apologies. I just came back for my apologies. One of my homegirls definitely said, I'm sorry. Because, yeah, because she knew she was like mischaracterizing me because he was saying all the things she wanted to hear. And me saying, yo, this dude is a fraud. It didn't make sense. And I get it. I get it. Being validated, feeling like you're unheard, and then this person is saying everything that you feel like you experience. Cool. So, they feel like they really understand you, like they really get you. They got you. They got you. They get how you work. They get that you're still living in a frame of hurt, in a space of pain, that you haven't processed everything yet. And they get that. So they're gonna play on that. No more than no more than a movie bull. No more than a movie bull. Always making movies to monopolize on the pain of black women. Always making a dark skin guy the villain. Well, of course, not always. There's exceptions. I know. But for the majority, the dark skinned guy gonna be the villain. Always giving some kind of black woman some kind of impossible Herculean struggle. It can't just, it's rarely ever just a day-to-day type of situation, right? Right. Like uh, almost every time there has to be a woman who's been abused, usually sexually. Um, so yeah, like when these people come to prey on your pain, we see it. And I get it. Not every dude who says something has the best intentions. I ain't gonna pretend like that's the case. But a lot of us do. Because to a lot of us, y'all are friends, cousins, sisters, girlfriends, homegirls, like best friends, co-workers, people who we don't want to see you sitting there forking up money to this bull and getting taken advantage of. Now, granted, we ain't gonna keep telling y'all all the time. Because one thing about dudes when it comes to the homegirls, we know y'all gonna do what y'all want to do. We know y'all gonna do what y'all want to do. So after a while, we don't say nothing until after it comes back, and we gotta remind y'all, yeah, we called this out. Back when y'all was saying all this and that about us because we told you that this person was fake. Here it is. And for the women who feel as though men don't get to call out those men because men are so terrible, because men are exploitative, that men are users, well, all the more reason why you should listen, because it would take one to know one. Like I said, I gave the example of the show Leverage. There's a thief, a hacker, a muscle, um, um, a grifter, and the planner, right? If you watch the show, correct me if I'm wrong. But all these people are criminals. They did bad things to get what they want. And they came together to do good things with those skills, right? So they know what it is when there's another thief, when there's another grifter, when there's another, muscle man, when there's another hacker. They know. They see it. They see the con. They see the con coming from a mile away. And so do men. So thinking that only that would be like saying, well, somebody who's a recovering addict can't tell you about staying off drugs. Or the person, like, remember that commercial? The lady had the microphone in the neck because her whole joint was going. Nah, I used to smoke cigarette. That'd be like telling her she should shut up. Right? We understand those examples. That'd be like saying there was no point in Scare Straight, where kids were talking to current criminals, current felons, people locked up. Because they know. So likewise, ladies, I need y'all to understand. When dudes are telling y'all about these shysters, listen. I don't care if that's not the most, the dude doesn't have the best character. I don't care if you've seen him doing. Matter of fact, if a guy who does women dirty is coming to you to tell you not to go ahead and buy this seminar from this guy because this guy's doing women dirty, don't buy the seminar. He knows it's game recognizing game. Like I don't understand what be so hard for y'all to come to acceptance with this pattern. Now I get it. The first time the guy got y'all, he got y'all for years. Then I said the other boy, he got a whole show. That homegirl from the show exposed him. You might want to believe her, you might want to not believe her. But he said too many things for them all to be lies. Now this boy, he already had an abuse case on his jacket, but now his wife saying she divorcing him. She on camera with the black eye and all that. There I said, Chris Perry, you next. You next. You another panda bear. You next, bro. And I ain't sitting here, and I've never wished, well, no, I ain't gonna lie. The first boy I wished on his downfall. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wished on boy downfall because I couldn't stand him. I knew he was fraud. And I was just like, I can't wait. I can't even say I wished on it, but I was like, I can't wait till he gets exposed. Oh man. So my bad. Let me tell the truth about that. But I ain't wishing nothing bad on Chris Perry. I just see the same thing. And I don't want women to continue to be harmed by what seems like support when it's not. It's exploitation. Like, even after getting exposed, the boy still got fans. Still. Even after watching Keita Rose do this whole series worth of exposure on board and, who the hell do I work for and all that. Even after watching all that, women still listen to boy when he sit there and tries to talk. When he went on Cam Newton podcast and started talking foolishness, we posting that clip because these people only say to you what you want to hear. And there's nobody who loves you, man or female. There's nobody who loves you. There is nobody. If you don't know who Chris Perry is, you don't need to know. But if you ever see this light-skinned guy with some tattoos and a beanie on, don't trust him. There's nobody who loves you who only tells you what you need to hear. There's nobody who has your best interest, who never tells you you're wrong, who never says, you sure about that? I don't know, y'all. And these dudes never do that. They never do that. They never put responsibility for what happens with women in women's laps. Never. Never. They're only the only criticism they have, and Umar falls into this category too. I don't care. Feel how you want to feel. The only thing they'll say is that women should have left earlier. That the woman's only crime is loving this man who isn't worthy of her. No, you picked poorly. You fell for you're not paying attention to the lessons from your last L. You're not using discernment. You're not connecting with your spiritual foundation. You're not using your what women like to call it, women's intuition. You're not using it. That's a conversation for another day, fellas. Please don't start. Not tonight. Not tonight. Another episode, y'all. I know every time women's intuition get brought up. Not tonight, fellas. Another day. Another night. But you see what I'm saying? Like, that's just the same pattern. And quiet is kept. Quiet is kept. Some of you guys are falling for a female grifter right now. Not gonna say her name, but she light skinned, she cute, and she almost always disagreeing with her moderator. She's currently married right now. I ain't gonna say her name. But right now, dudes be like, oh, protect her. Protect us. All right. So I'm telling you, she's not yada for men, but she the first ball. She the first ball for men. Where it's like all she do is criticize what women do wrong. She doesn't even criticize men from a genuine place. And while I love women who can be an advocate for men, like there was this one well, there's these two light skinned ladies, one older and one younger. The one had glasses, she's really attractive. I think her name is Tay something. And then the other one, I forgot what her name was, but there's multiple female male advocates out there, right? Um, you said her husband also grift low key. Probably. They probably in on it together. I imagine. The same way that these grifters that I mentioned had women in on their grift. The tour bull, Keita was part of his grift because she knew everything that all the stuff that she said was going on. She never said anything until she couldn't get her paper. Once he wouldn't give her a paper, now she wanted to expose everything. Once he was gonna fire her, now she wanted to expose everything. You part of the heist. You just mad that you didn't like your cut. It's not like you were a victim trapped in that situation. And let me go ahead and pepper that part in right quick, just so we clear. Just so we clear. These grifters who are abusive to women give the women who are aiding them some grace. Not Keita, not Keita. She made her choice. She was not forced. She was not. No, she just purely was cool with everything as long as she was getting her paper. But the one boy, white, both of these people's wives, or I guess now ex-wives, right? Um, while they were in the situation, like any abuse victim, you gotta give them a little bit of grace because they're trying to survive whatever abusive situation they in, and they're bound to make poor decisions. The fact that they didn't up and leave already is telling you that their decision making is compromised. So yes, they're going to make other decisions. I'm not saying that the decisions are right. What I'm saying is they just because they are trapped in an abusive cycle, they deserve enough grace until they're at least removed from it before you start pointing fingers at them saying, well, you helped him get away with that, right? Because I know they saying that right now about the boy Yada wife. Like, he been whooping you behind for years, and now you want to come out because you finally tired. Maybe he wasn't giving you enough money, and now you want that's ill. That's ill, and it's irresponsible. That like everybody knows somebody who's been abused, whether it's male or female. Everybody. And to talk about the abusers with that same closed-minded mindset, oh, well, they should have just left, as if just leaving is easy. Even in situations where abuse is not, especially when it comes to marriage, where even in a situation where abuse is not the issue, just leaving is not as simple as the way y'all make it sound. I'm sorry. So get that woman some grace. Yes, she did wrong by aiding and abetting his grift. However, there's a certain amount of that to where like she didn't really have control over, because I'm sure if she had full control over the situation, she wouldn't have been sitting there getting her head knocked between the washer and the dryer on a consistent basis. You just got to keep that in mind, that no matter whether it's physical, financial, emotional abuse, the one thing that's constant through all of that is the mental component, making somebody see themselves as less than, uh, poisoning the way they see themselves in the world. So give that lady some grace until she's removed from the situation. Now, if she decides to now start being a grifter after she got out that situation, the way the first boy wife did, then go ahead and talk about her now. After that, go ahead and talk about her then, because you don't get to be the hurt people that hurt people. You don't get to do that after you got out that situation. No, you don't. But as she's just freshly removing herself and stepping out of it, I advocate that y'all give her some grace. But yeah, I told y'all about the dark skin muscle boy. I told y'all about Two Face metaphor. I told y'all about yada, and it's not to for any of the women who I've told for me to be like, aha. I'm saying this as in, yeah, I'm smart. I get it. I am. I really am. But I'm not psychic. And I'm not the only guy who told y'all, or I'm not the only guy who said anything, right? It's just the same playbook, and we recognize it. It's the same playbook. And like I said, with the light skinned girl for the fellas, y'all better recognize anybody who just only tells you the things that you support and the things that you want to hear while downing the other gender that they are a part of. Don't trust it. Don't trust it. It's not in their best interest to move like that. Not as far as really. It's in their best interest to move like that when it comes to this bread, to popularity, sure, because they're going against the grain. So then, yeah, they get to look unique. They get to look different. They get to look special. But when there's money behind it, when there's a product behind that, you can't trust it. You can't. All these dudes, how we say good morning. Just check your cash app. Come on, bro. And I ain't saying that you can't spoil a woman. I ain't saying that you can't trick on a woman. I ain't saying none of that. If that's your bag, that's your bag. Even the simps, it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same situation as these panderers. Because them simps really believe it. Them simps really believe it. They really believe that these girls that they treating like that deserve everything, and they worship the ground they walk on. Now that's gonna backfire on the simp, sure, but at least they coming from a place where they genuinely feel that way. These grifters, these shysters, these fake gurus, they wolves. They wolves in sheep clothing. But ladies, y'all gotta start seeing the fangs in the teeth. You can't ignore the fangs in the teeth because it's a handsome wolf, or because the wolf is speaking to things that you've been trying to tell men for years and they don't listen. Nah. These guys don't care. These wolves don't care. Oh man, you just don't understand when this gets caught up in my wool and so. Mm-mm, mm-mm. He don't care nothing about your wool. He there to eat. He there to eat. So I think that we get the point by now. I will say that I'm very sad to hear that, he's putting his hands on his wife like he did the first baby mom. I'm never a fan, nor I'll never support domestic abuse. Um, and for those who put money or really help further the brand of these people, I just hope that y'all finally learn y'all lesson and y'all learn to vet. Like vet whoever it is you want to support. Honestly, at every level, vet whoever it is you want to support. Whether it's political, whether it's social, whether it's you know, anybody you want to put so much of your support to, please vet them properly. Look at everything around them. Look at the things to see if they make sense, right? See if it makes sense. And then also be able to look for the bad side. Look for the downside. If you don't see any downside, there's no perfect person. So if you look at a person and you don't see downside in what they're offering at all, like if you never find yourself disagreeing ever, it's not good. You can't trust it. There's nobody who's right all the time. My favorites get it wrong sometimes. So, y'all be careful out there, man, because uh as much as we might laugh and joke and roast about it, I hate to see my people led astray. I hate to see, my women made fools out of, even if they allowing or assisting this person in making a fool out of them. Um, so, and F you grifters, F all of y'all. Each and every last one of y'all. I despise y'all. The fact that you, in your heart, see wounded and hurt women, and the first thing that you could think to do is, yeah, let me make bread off that. Now, let me genuinely help them, because honestly, there could be quite a bit of money in actually helping people. But hey, it's like the pharmacy, right? The money's not in the cure, it's in the medicine. So the same way people didn't have compassion for that pharmaceutical tycoon that got that got iced by Luigi, the same way I don't have no compassion for you niggas. I don't have no compassion for none of you grifters. Of any color, by the way. Not a single one of y'all. I despise you all. Y'all are all trash. I hope y'all teeth fall out. I hope y'all step on Legos. I hope y'all split the middle of y'all toe against the sharp edge of the bed. I hope you find a great sandwich and 45% of the last part of the sandwich fall and hit the floor somewhere where you can't even do the 5 second rule. I wish you no well in any part of life. I really hope you suffer from abject failure. I do. Um, as for the rest of you people, you beautiful lifers, whether you're here for the first time or the 1500th, well, I mean, it's only been 100 some episodes, but you know what I'm saying. I appreciate y'all, man. Listen, if you are for some reason not already subscribed to the YouTube, please do so. Follow your boy on the socials. Do I have them up here? See if I can put them on screen. We got Nah Charles on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? We got Life Be Life and Nah on IG. And then, of course, there's Life Be Lifing podcast on there's Life Be Lifing on Facebook, there's Life Be Lifing on IG, and of course there's Life Be Lifing on TikTok. So um real quick, let's settle up. Let's bring it in. Let's bring it in, folks. Let's bring it in. Shout outs to the alley oops I was thrown this week by one of my best friends. You know, y'all hear me call her new friend from time to time. The I guess you could say lead co-star for the sex ed with grown folks, Miss Tommy herself. Appreciate you for all the oops you do this week. Y'all go ahead and send up a prayer for Miss Tommy because she's under the weather. So hopefully we'll have her back in healthy and in full effect. Well before next week comes, but hopefully we'll see if we could talk her into coming on next week. But definitely send up a prayer for a full and speedy recovery for her. Who else threw me an oop? My older brother June threw me an oop. So shout out to him. My younger brother Boog threw me an oop. Who else? The main character energy ladies, man. Taya, Star, Sunny, y'all all threw me an oop by allowing me to be on y'all episode with y'all, create that content. And that one clip is going up. Hopefully it just continues to fly through the likes and everything else and the reposts. You know what I'm saying? Let's go viral, ladies. I appreciate y'all. So yeah, that's who threw the oops this week. All right. So here's how the game plan went through, or the game summary for today. We talked about women being in the women's place. We talked about protection, and we talked about the grifters and what that means for when a black man tries to protect a black woman from a grifter or somebody else who would take advantage of her, right? Prevention being better than cure, and why this grifting is so heavy and why it's so important to start to break the cycles now. That being said, as always, Shout out to A.C.E, my brother, who he always be. The sponsor of the Two Kings 215 Life Be Life and podcast. The owner of Simply Nashay Catering. Denver's mom. Russ's wife. Mrs. Keish with the cakes. Be smart. Be respectful. Be patient. Be kind to as many people as you possibly can. I know some people make that impossible, y'all. Don't worry about it. Just do the best you can. But make sure every single day, take the time to pour into yourself because we cannot continue to pour from empty cups. All right. Everybody put their hand in. Let's break. The word for today. The word for today is going to be protection or protect, right? Protect. We're going to go with that. We're going to go with that. The word for today is going to be protect. We're going to break on protect on 3, right? So, brothers, continue to do your job of protection. And ladies, allow us to protect you in the way that we need to. And of course, continue to protect the brothers that you protect because we acknowledge that there are definitely black women who stand in the space of protection for black men. Y'all exist. We see y'all. We appreciate y'all. All right. But protect on 3. Everybody got their hands in. We ready? All right. Cool. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Protect. Everybody have a great night. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I'll see